And Lilian, y'all will put the link to click on in the chat box also?
Yes.
Okay, I know you would. I just double checking.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session on the Grow Now Financial Equity Fund. We will just give everyone another minute or two. You guys are early, which is great, but we'll give everyone another minute or two to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. If you all have questions as we go through the session, feel free to post them in the Q&A section on Zoom, and we will answer them either typing the answers or out loud once we get to the Q&A parts. And for those of you who are just joining, thank you for being with us this morning in this incredible weather. And we will get started in just a minute. We're just going to give everyone one more minute to hop on. And I will place the website for this program in the chat, and we'll also just take a look at it together during the presentation. But in case you all want to follow along, you've got it there. And there we go. Okay, well, it is 10:01, so we will get started. And as I said before, welcome to everyone. Thank you for being with us. If you all do have questions as we go through the presentation, feel free to put them in the Q&A section, and we'll answer as many as we can. So as you all know, we are here today to discuss the Grow Now Financial Equity Fund. This is a wonderful 3-year program that's in partnership with the San Antonio Area Foundation and the Corporate Partners for Racial Equity and with Fund and the Women's Business Center. So this program is really special in that it offers grant funding as well as one-on-one consultations with the WBC, the Women's Business Center, and classes and workshops to help you grow and scale your business. So with that, we will get started. As you guys can see, the application will be opening on the 6th, which is next Monday, right at 9 a.m. And it will close. It'll be open for about 2.5 weeks. So it'll close on February 22nd, right at 5 p.m. Make sure to remember that 5 p.m. It's not 11:59 p.m. We always have folks every application cycle who make that mistake, and so they miss that deadline. So make sure to put 5 p.m. on your calendar. And let me turn off my notifications here. Give me just a moment. And apologies for that. Okay, let's see, let me reshare. Okay, and I am delighted to have with us the director of the Women's Business Center for San Antonio, Margaret Wilson-Anaglia, and also Dr. Shea or Shantana Robertson. These ladies will be leading this program, offering the workshops, working with you one-on-one to really see what your business needs are and to help you go from whatever point you're at and move forward. So I will give Margaret the floor for a few minutes to say whatever she'd like to say.
Good morning. Thank you, Lilian. Good morning, everyone. We're in this thing called this frozen tundra for San Antonio. A lot of people are on lockdown. It's kind of giving us all flashbacks as when we started COVID and we were working online. Hope everyone is staying warm and safe today. Kind of want to say welcome. It's first day of Black History Month, and what a way to kick it off by offering our financial equity fund. I think this is incredible. It's the second year of the fund, and the team with the the team with the Women's Business Center, we are so proud to be able to implement this program. People will say, well, what does the Women's Business Center do? We're here to support you, to get you ready, and to have you to stay ready for opportunities. May those opportunities be loans, grants in this case, and also for contracts. Because what we know for sure, your business is stronger when your foundation is strong. And we're so pleased to be in the second year of this particular grant. Guys, can you imagine? That's $500,000 in grants that we're going to be offering to businesses. Last year, we were able to support 18 fabulous businesses to not only receive the grants, but also to receive workshops and business support. And I have to take a moment to introduce our fabulous Dr. Shantana Robinson. She was actually, yes, ma'am, she's in the she shed this morning as well. She was part of our team who actually worked our workshops and provided one-on-one business advising to our cohort or our grantees last year. And Dr. Shea, you want to take just a moment, just to say hello to everyone and maybe a word or two about some of the fabulous end results that we received last year from our grantees.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope that you all are staying warm. As the fabulous Miss Margaret Wilson-Anelia just mentioned, I'm Dr. Shay Robinson. I am one of the lead instructors for the courses that are attributed to this wonderful program. Just so you have an idea of some of the course offerings, we cover everything from a full session on insurance to a full session on accounting and tax practices for small business owners. We also dive into capacity building for small business owners. So as you are scaling and growing your business, what does that actually look like, right? So how do you actually get yourself ready for potential government contracting? How do you put together a solid capability statement? What do you do if you're not awarded a bid? We have those tough discussions during these sessions. We also do one-on-one. So in other words, as we all know, everybody's business is not the same, right? We're fluid, all going on different levels, even though we might be in the same entrepreneurship boat. So those one-on-one sessions serve to actually develop a better understanding of your business so that we can actually offer you resources and tools that are very specific to what it is that your business may be going through at this current moment. It may be adding additional employees, looking for a second location, making sure that you keep your doors open through 2023. So those discussions during those 101s are very important, just as important as the group discussions that we have, catered around the 6 main focal factors that we have seen a lot of small businesses have question about. Primary one, of course, is funding. So, of course, that's where the grant ties in, but there are those other components that are just as important for the solid foundation for you to have a successful business. So glad to be here and happy to meet you all this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Shea, for that summary. And again, we want to remind people the beauty of this grant, you're able to leverage not only the funding, but the workshop support. And I always say we can put a multiplier on that money that you'll be able to receive. And before I turn it over to Lilian for her to go into the details of the program, again, want to express that the Corporate Partners for Racial Equity, in conjunction with the Area Foundation, they believe in Black businesses in San Antonio, in Bexar County. They are committed to supporting us. And what we know for sure, we need that support, we welcome that support, and we will leverage that support. And know that the Women's Business Center and the entire Lift Fund team is here to support you. As I like to say, we don't want to just see you survive. We want to see you thrive. And by thriving, you're going to be a key economic generator in our community. So with that said, I want to turn it over to our fabulous Lilian. She's going to go through all the details and the different support that you're going to be receiving and how you can access this grant as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Margaret. And we will dive right in here. As Margaret said, I am Lilian Spenley. I am the Grant Programs and Operations Manager here at Lift Fund. So if you all have applied for any other grants that Lift Fund has worked on in the past couple of years, you've probably seen my face. So as we said, this is the second year of a 3-year program. In this year, we will have $500,000 being awarded to Black-owned businesses within Bexar County. The grants will be up to $35,000. And as we mentioned, in addition to the funding, you'll have access to all this incredible coaching, one-on-one, and workshops through this program. To more detail on the programs, it would be 6 one-on-one consultations with an advisor, and then 6 workshops, happening at the same time or in the same time frame as those consultations. Also, after the program has finished, we will have some follow-up consultations, 6 months, a year, 18 months, in that range, after the program is over, just to see how you're doing, a year out from having received these funds and gone through this program. So a timeline of the program, as I mentioned, the application does open February 6th. That's next Monday. So mark your calendar for 9 o'clock, and it will close at 5 p.m. on the 22nd. The kind of review period of the applications is pretty quick, just about 3 weeks. So it's going from the end of February until March 17th. And then everyone who was selected will be notified on March 24th. After that, we will have a period of about a week and a half where those who are selected for the program will actually have an interview with the Women's Business Center. And obviously you're already approved at that point. The goal of those sessions or those interviews is to really gauge where you and your business are in its journey and in its development, for us to be able to understand, what areas of help you may be needing. And then the first workshop will be on April 12th. For those who are selected for the program, in the awardee agreement that you'll receive, you will receive a full calendar of all the sessions, which are mandatory. And so, at that point, you'll commit to attending, each of those 6 workshops, and then of course the 6 one-on-one consultations. The one-on-one consultations, will be scheduled, at times that are, work for you and work for the advisor, but the workshops will be at designated times. The disbursement of the funds will happen in 3 sections. So the first will be after completing 2 workshops and 2 one-on-one consultations. So you'd receive that first slice of the funding in June. And then the second one will be after the next 2 workshops and the next 2 one-on-ones, and that will be in August. And then the last third of the funds will be received after the final 2 workshops and the final 2 consultations, so in October. Applicants can only receive 1 grant award. So if you have multiple businesses, you can only apply for one of your businesses, or if you have one business with multiple, branches or locations around the county, still you can only submit for one of those locations. And if you received or participated in the program last year, you are unfortunately not eligible to apply again. We really want to spread the wealth across eligible businesses. The eligibility requirements, of course, you must be a Black-owned business, you must be located in Bexar County, and you must be physically located in the county. So if you, serve customers across the county or in a wide range of places, but your business isn't actually located in the county, you would not be eligible. You must be a for-profit business and have been operating before January 1, 2020. Your 2021 gross sales have to be a minimum of 30,000 and a maximum of 1 million. And then of course you have to be in good standing, not be filing for bankruptcy, in good standing with the Texas Comptroller's Office, no, tax liabilities, that kind of thing. Pretty much any industry is eligible. So with the exception of these 10 or 11 here. So, what we like to call the sin industries. So, gambling, sexually oriented businesses, payday lenders, that type of thing. And this list of the ineligible business activities is on the website. So I'll show you where that is later when we review the website. So don't worry, you don't need to memorize this list right now. There is a scoring system to this application that will prioritize certain businesses or types of businesses. So those businesses that are located in a qualified census tract are those designated by the IRS as being historically underserved census tracts. You'll receive, if you're in one of those, you'll receive 1 point. Those who applied for the program last year but were not selected will receive 1 point if you're applying again. And then number of full-time employees. So the more employees you have, the more points you get. And those are full-time employees. So we're not looking at part-timers. We're not looking at contractors. Those are full-time folks. And then your use of funds. So the more specific you are within the application, there will be a section that asks you, how the funds would be used if you are selected. And the more specific needs that you have, rather than just kind of general money to help the business, the more points you would be awarded in that section. So the maximum score is 12, and those with a higher score will be considered for funding first, and then we'll work our way down into the lower scores. The application is at www.financialequityfund.org. It usually takes most folks about 30 minutes to an hour to complete. You can start the application, save your work, and go back in later and finish it out as long as it's before the application period ends. You will have to have all of the required documents in order to be able to submit, and we'll go through the list of those on the next slide. It should be noted, again, the deadline is 5 p.m. on the 22nd, and you must have submitted the application by then. So it can't just be that you started it before 5. The portal will shut down right at 5 o'clock, and you will not be able to log back in after that. So the required documents, it's a very short list, just 5 items. So your 2021 filed business tax return, verification of your current income. So all that means is your most recent business bank statement, very simple, no fancy financials needed. Your current driver's license, should not be expired. So pull out your driver's license right now, take a look. If it has expired, go out, obviously not today when the roads are icy, but go out and get that updated because we will need a valid current ID. And then your a utility bill or lease for your business location, just to verify that the address is of your business is within Bexar County. And then lastly, proof of the number of full-time employees that you have. So that could be your fourth quarter from 2022 Form 941. If you haven't filed that yet, no worries. We can take a payroll report, something maybe you generate out of QuickBooks or a system like that. We will have another info session on February 15th. So you're welcome to attend that. We will also have an open house in-person session for application assistance that will be on February 8th from 9:30 to 5. So pretty much all day. It'll be at the Women's Business Center, and you can go in, you can just drop in. You don't need an appointment as long as you're within those times. And the advisors at the Women's Business Center can help you through the application. Also on that day, February 8th, if you just have a real quick question that'll take 2 minutes and you don't want to drive all the way down to the office, we will have 2 1-hour application open house sessions from 9 to 10 and 3 to 4. You can join one or both. And, just ask those quick questions, and we'll have advisors available to answer them. There won't be any presentation during those sessions, so it won't be like today. It'll just be advisors on the line ready to answer any quick questions that you all have. And you can register for those Zoom sessions, for those virtual assistant sessions on the website. So if you have any questions after today, you're welcome to call our grant line at 800-923-9551. And Monica, if you can put that number in the chat, that would be great. You can also email us at sbgrants@liftfund.com. And some other resources that may be helpful. Of course, Lift Fund does offer loans, so you can check out our different loan programs at liftfund.com/loan-offerings. Our Women's Business Center is constantly offering advisement and workshops all of the time. So you can check out the Women's Business Center to see what other resources they have in addition to this program. And then, of course, to see the calendar of events and workshops that are coming up, you can visit liftfund.com/events. So as I mentioned, we'll take a look at the website, all of the eligibility requirements, the document list that's required, the review of the scoring, the timeline, and frequently asked questions are all on the website. So let us visit that now. So again, that site is financialequityfund.org, and I will go through here. So I won't read every word as we've covered all of this information, but just to show you where to find the different pieces on the site. Just a summary of the program. Again, a reminder of the times for the application period, an overview of the education and coaching that's provided. So the 6 one-on-ones, the 6 workshops, and then the 2 check-ins post-grant, 6 months to a year down the road. Also, the grants are a maximum of $35,000. And this is you'll have also here a schedule of the when the funding will take place in those 3 different tranches or sections. Here's kind of a summary of the different workshops that will take place, that will be offered. Here you can find those eligibility requirements that we discussed. If you're not sure if you're in Bexar County or not, if you may be right on the boundary or on the edge of the county, you can check this site to where you can put in your address and determine if you are in the county or not. That list of the ineligible NAICS or business activity codes is here in case you need to refer to that. And then again, the limitations, so only one grant per business per applicant, and that businesses who participated in the program last year are not eligible to reapply. The list of those 5 required documents is here, and we certainly recommend kind of gathering those over the next few days before you start the application, and that'll just make your application process much smoother and much faster if you've got those ready to go and upload, once you begin the application. The scoring system, again, those 4 factors for which the maximum score is 12, and a breakdown of the possible maximum points awarded for each category. Then we have the timeline, again, just giving you when the review phase is and when the award notifications will happen, and the duration of the actual workshops and coursework, which will be mid-April through the end of September. We have, of course, the additional info session that will be on the 15th. After today, we will post the recording for this session, as well as slides of the presentation. So if you want to look back at that, you'll have that. Give us a day or 2, but we'll definitely have that up by the end of the week. And then again, for the in-person application assistance, you can, we have just the address of the Women's Business Center for that in-person session. If you'd like to stop in on February 8th, or the registration registration links for the 2 virtual sessions on February 8th for those quick questions. We've got, of course, our contact info here to reach out to us. And then we have our frequently asked questions. And I'll just run through a few of these. I've seen some of them come into the Q&A already. So we'll go through these in case you have one of these questions. So how is the grant amount calculated? It will be 25% of your 2021 gross sales up to a maximum of $35,000. If you are a sole proprietor, do you need to submit your whole tax return or just your Schedule C? We only need the 2 pages of the Schedule C. That's perfectly fine. How do I know if the grant team got my application? You will receive a submission confirmation from noreply@bmisw.com. A lot of people, this is going to go to your spam folder. So please check your spam folder before you reach out to us. And again, that's noreply@bmisw.com. So it's not going to be a LIFT fund, email address. So just make a note of that. If your business is home-based and all of your utilities are in someone else's name, that's no problem. We'll take that utility bill with your, spouse, brother, aunt, whoever it is that you're living with, as long as we can verify that that address matches the one on your application, that's totally fine. Similarly, if you are at a business location and all of your utilities are included in your lease, so you don't get a utility bill, we will happily take a copy of your lease, or if you get a monthly rent invoice, we can take those. We just need something showing that it's you and your business there and, has the address on there. So we're very flexible on that. We just need to be able to verify that address. We will not be counting 1099 contractors for this program, so we don't need copies of any of their information. Please don't give us that. We just want to see your full-time employees for this program. If selected, it is a grant, so of course you do not have to pay the grant back. It is not a loan. If the address that's on your various documents, so your formation documents, your tax returns, all of that is a different address than where you are now, because maybe you've had to move in the last couple of years, not a problem at all. That's why we're going to be asking for your most recent utility bill so that we can see your current address. The 1 million maximum, that is based on your gross revenue. So not your net. We're only looking at gross for the determination of the eligibility dollars range of 30,000 to 1 million. Once you receive that application, again, you will get that confirmation from noreply@bmisw. So you don't need to reach out to us to check, if we've gotten it. You'll have that confirmation email in writing for your records. If you have 2 businesses, you can only submit an application for one. So you've got to pick one to apply for. If your business is located outside the county, but you serve customers within the county, unfortunately, you cannot apply. You have to be physically located in the county. If you're a home-based business, then your home address is your business address. So, that's perfectly fine. When will I find out if I've been approved? That'll be on March 24th, and those who are selected will receive a awardee agreement through DocuSign. So that'll be a DocuSign that will come from a LIFT fund email address. So just be checking your email inbox on the 24th for that message. And then if you are not selected, we will also let you know that at the end of March, once we've gotten all of our awardees confirmed. And then, of course, just a little note about who LIFT Fund is and who the Women's Business Center is. So with that, I will see what questions that we have. Yes, great question. So is there a reason for the funds being distributed in multiple payments, and what percent of the funds are distributed with each payment. So it'll be split into equal thirds for each of the 3 distributions. And the reason for that is that, you're working through the coursework and the workshops and your individual consultations as you go. And with each of those, of course, you're getting advisement on, how best to use the funds to really put your business in a good position. And so, as you'll receive those funds as you work through the coursework. And that's the reason for that. Okay. And let's see. Any other questions? And thank you, Monica. She has put the phone number and the email for the grants line into the chat. So if you all do think of questions after this session has concluded, we can definitely, we've got LIF Fund agents ready to answer those questions. Okay. Okay, great. Looks like we have another question here. Yes, so if you have a business that was, has started before 2020 and it's still operating, and of course we'll verify that using your most recent business bank statement and your 2021 tax return, then you're certainly eligible. Carlin, I hope we answered your question, but if not, please feel free to elaborate on your question. Yes, so businesses with existing loans are certainly eligible to apply, not a problem. Yes. So if you had a business that started as a sole proprietorship and it's converted to a corporation or an LLC, that's totally fine. All we would ask for is that you give us both your original Schedule C to show that you were operating before 2020, January 1, 2020, and then your newest formation as the LLC or the corporation, so we can see your current status. Yes, not a problem. Okay. Yes, if you're the only employee, that's not a problem at all. You're certainly eligible. It just means that, on that particular scoring components, those who have more full-time employees will receive greater points, but you're certainly still eligible if you're just, a one-person operation. Lots of questions coming in. I love it. The 25% that determines your award amount is based on the 2021 gross sales on that 2021 tax return. Yes, so if you have 2 businesses and you received a grant through LIF Fund or through anyone else for one of those businesses last year, you can certainly apply for that second business this year. Or if the first one is still the one that's having greater need, you're welcome to apply for that one. So whichever you like, just as long as you pick one of them. Prior funds received through any other program is not considered for this program, so it doesn't help or hurt you in any way. The time, so all of the required documents, for the most part, the tax return that we're going to be looking at is 2021. However, for time and business, we are looking at January 1, 2020. We do want to see that you're, solidly established, that you have been around for 3 years, or so at this point. Great questions. As far as how the funds can be used, so it can be used for really any, business purpose. So, to purchase supplies or equipment, to do payroll, to, working capital, to pay down debt, business debt that you may have, to do maintenance on equipment that maybe needs some repairs, to, pay for utilities or rent or mortgage. So it can be used for all of those things, but of course you'll work with the Women's Business Center advising team to, determine what way will be, put your business in the best position to move forward. So you'll have some, suggestions or advising on that from the advisors. The only thing, of course, it cannot be used for is to, go on a luxury vacation to Bermuda. The grant amount, it looks like Monica's answering that, but I'll just say it out loud as well for anyone else who has that question. The grant amount is calculated based on a maximum of 25% of your 2021 gross sales. A question on when you, or if startup businesses can apply, or if you, how long you have to have been in business. You must have been operating since before January 1, 2020. So unfortunately, if you're a brand new startup, this will not be the program for you. Oh, great question. What are some ways to stand out on the application outside of the point system? So there are going to be a number of narrative questions asking about the culture of the business and your leadership. Those questions certainly don't have any impact on your eligibility or who is chosen, but really offering great or thoughtful responses to those questions is appreciated. As far as eligibility and enhancing your chance at selection, it's going to be, of course, verifying that you meet the eligibility criteria, and then based on that scoring. So applicants with the highest scores who meet those priority categories, will be considered for funding first. As far as how many applications were received last year, I can say that we received about twice as many applications as we were able to fund. And so we will, certainly recommend, being very thorough with your application. Great. If you would like to find out if you participated previously, you're welcome to email sbgrants@liftfund.com and we can confirm that for you. But certainly if you participated previously, you'll probably remember having gone through 6 months worth of workshops. So if that, and that would be last year. So if that doesn't, seem familiar, then chances are you were not a participant previously. Yes, if you started the business, before that January 1, 2020 deadline, but haven't been able to grow, that's fine as long as you are still currently operating. And we are going to, of course, be verifying that using the 2021 tax return. So we need to see a minimum of 30,000 in gross sales in that year. And then on your most recent business bank statement that you'll submit, of course, we want to see, business related activity there. So, and then as far as connecting with other grant winners, you will definitely have a very close connection with them over the 6 months as you move through the program. All of the 6 workshops that are required will be, done as a group with the cohort of other winners. So you'll certainly be able to connect with them, and maybe even if they have if their business does something that your business needs, maybe they sell napkins and you're a restaurant, then you can, maybe have a business relationship with them as well. Yes, the email for questions, it is posted in the chat as well, but it is S as in Sam, B as in boy, grants@liftfund.com. And Lift Fund is LIFTFUND, so not to be confused with the rideshare program. The workshops, Margaret, I will let you answer this one. The workshops are they virtual or in person?
The workshops itself, it's going to be office hours where they can literally just come in. The other 2 that are set are going to be virtual. That way folks don't have to drive in as well. Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about the workshops. Guys, forgive me, my brain is cold here. The workshops are actually going to be virtual. We'll probably have a few in person, but last year they were all virtual.
Thank you, Margaret.
And also the 101 sessions, business advisory sessions with Dr. Shea, those will definitely be virtual as well.
Yes, so if you are selected for the grant, it will be considered taxable business income, and you will receive a 1099 in January 2024 for the grant income. Very important question. We actually just got finished issuing all the 1099s for last year's recipients.
And Liliana, I may want to add also, please make sure that as you are applying for this grant, know what the commitment is. We all have the dates lined out for all of the workshops. You must attend all of the workshops to receive the grant money. So it is extremely important that you review your calendar and make sure that you can adhere to the commitment as well. We're committed to see you thrive. We need to make sure you're committed to participating as well. And that's what's going to make a successful program.
We will, as far as the workshop dates, if you are selected, that calendar will be in the awardee agreement that you have to sign and commit to in order to accept the grant. So you will have those dates, at that time. Okay, we'll give everyone just another few minutes. We've had a lot of great questions, so we'll see if there are any more that come in, and otherwise we'll give you some time back in your day. And just to clarify, when the application does open at 9 a.m. on February 6th, next Monday, it will be, the link for the application will be right here on the website. It will be under this first paragraph. There'll be a big apply now button, that you'll just click on, and it'll take you to the application portal.
And Liliana, I'll add also, I think a lot of people wonder, well, God, it doesn't open till the 6th. Why are you having this information workshop session? We're having that so you can see what the eligibility requirements are. You can gather all the documents that you need. And basically, as we said earlier, we want to get you ready to be ready. So in this case, you'll be ready and prepared to complete that application on February 6th. You won't wait till February 22nd and 4:58 to start to complete the process. So again, we're here to support you and share with you information on this project. You have an opportunity to ask questions via email, phone calls, and also through the Women's Business Center. Know that we're here to support you. We want you to apply for this grant. So that's why we're here, to give you the additional support as well.
Yes. And thank you. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any further questions. So I want to thank Margaret and Dr. Shea and Monica Vasquez, who's our grants manager, who's been here answering your questions via chat. Thank you all for joining. And we will have the recording of this session and the slides in the next day or two up on the website for you to review later. And we hope that you will all apply. Thank you so much.
Stay warm, be safe out there.